Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the 5th episode. So far, we've been learning about how to build a good life. And in this context, we spoke of character in the first episode. Then we went to the 6 keys to self-improvement. And following that, we looked at leadership as a behavior and explored how our behavior comes into being, why we behave the way we do. And we discovered that beliefs are at the root of it. And these beliefs are what we need to examine. The 4th episode was essentially about the learning steps that we need to be aware of as we learn. And learning is a lifelong journey. And we looked at the ladder of learning in this context. Today, the 5th episode, I want to talk about, things we know and we don't do. Why is that? You'll be surprised. Let me share this model with you, a very simple one, which when I started this work back in 92, 93, I used to share this with my participants, and I'd like you to know about it as well. Now, imagine that this is the foundation, and that is the structure, right? 100-story building. The stronger the foundation, the stronger the structure. That much we can understand. Now, the point here is the analogy is suggesting that our personality has foundations, and making correct use of that foundation, we come up with a structure, okay? How we come across. So, knowledge is our foundation, which we acquire from formal and informal sources. The formal being, school, college, university, that's where we learn from. And informal, which I think is far more important, what we learn from our experiences, our parents, our mentors, friends, environment, media, and so many other sources. You'll find that a lot of people have not attained any formal education, and yet they're very effective in the chosen careers that they are working in. And why is that? Because they are making correct use of knowledge. Whatever they know, they're making correct use of it. So having knowledge is not enough. Making correct use of knowledge is something that we ought to be aware of. The word for making correct use of knowledge is wisdom. So knowledge and wisdom are not the same thing. Wisdom is what we do, keeping ethical considerations in mind and making correct choices. And it's a value-loaded statement. So here comes the question. Those who lack in wisdom are either fools or ignorant. In Urdu, we call jahalat. Is a state where we know things and yet we don't make the correct use of them. Having discovered this, I would urge you to embrace wisdom in your life. It's very important. And to do that, you would need to counter certain impediments. What comes in the way of doing what you know to be right? What comes in the way? It's either fear or apathy. Now, apathy is I don't care. And fear is something that we've got to confront with courage. Only then would we be able to acquire the level of wisdom we need to make a good life. I hope this will cause you to reflect. See you next week.